What's going on, nerds? Welcome back to Comic Book Nerd Nation, episode number 81. We've got the whole crew with us this time. I'm Fox2. Got Pirate.
Thanks to Brian, I have Cher stuck in my head.
Topher's done watching his porno.
That is not an accurate statement.
He's not done watching his porno.
Damn it. Why is Dayquil so fucking hard to open?
And the whole effing Brian.
So people like me don't get it into our reaches and take it unresponsibly.
It's because people make they make
Because
Naruto out of
I'm a
it.
child.
Because I'm a child. Brian, fuck. All right, let's jump right in and talk about what we've been reading. I had a light week again this week. I only got a chance to read some more of Green Lantern Rise of the Third Army. I'm still not done with it. It's really good thus far. I wouldn't expect any less. The rest of the Jeff Johns Green Lantern run was all incredible. This is the last bit that I haven't read. I think this coming week I will have time to finally finish that book plus read Earth 1 Volume 2. That's the goal for this coming week. But other than that, I'm still not seeing any new comics that are coming out that I'm really giving a shit about right now. Nothing is really that exciting to me right this minute. So I don't know. I'm
Not interested in Secret Wars?
Not really. I mean, I don't know. I may wait a couple weeks and then pick up like the first few Secret Wars so I can kind of like read into it, more than just one issue per week. But
Secret Wars has been good. I mean, the third issue they give you what's some answers faster than anything else I've ever read. Gives you answers in the recent couple of years.
Yeah, I don't know.
A lot of the tie-ins have been really good too. I mean, they've been releasing a crap ton of books. I finally went through and bagged all this
all the time.
I finally went through and bagged and boarded all the stuff I've been buying lately, and I've already got a Secret Wars stack that's that freaking
Holy
thick.
shit! Is it worse than Original Sin was?
No, it's definitely better than Original Sin.
No, I mean not quality wise. I mean,
with the
number
tie-ins?
of tie-ins and stuff, or
Yeah.
Forever
Yeah,
Evil was really
but-
bad about that too.
It was, but the thing is, you don't really need to read.
No.
You don't need to read any of them to follow the main story. But they have said that pretty much every single one of those tie-ins, there will be something that's part of the new Marvel universe that comes out of each and every one of those books. So either
hopefully
a character or a place or something something from pretty much every single one of those tie-ins is going to have is going to carry over and be a thing in the universe as it exists after Secret Wars. So none of them should be a complete throwaway.
What? So is that what you've been reading, Topher?
No, not actually.
No, not at all.
I just have a stack.
Yeah, I do have a stack, but you know me, my stack of unread comics far surpasses the ones that I actually managed to read in a week. No, but I did finally catch up on all my Star Wars stuff. So I basically went back and read everything Star Wars up to date, and it's been freaking fantastic.
Best
I
Marvel
love
comics out there.
Yeah, like Princess Leia series is okay. It's decent, but it's not quite as good as the other two. But actually, there's total the Kanan the Last Padawan. I haven't read any of that yet because I haven't watched the TV show. But the Star Wars and Darth Vader titles have been fucking great. Jason Aaron and Kieran Gillen, the writers, have been spot on for voices for the characters, and it just feels like you're reading Star Wars the whole time, and it's canon. They've said that everything that happens in these comics is officially part of the the movie storylines. So that's cool, that the fact that it actually counts and they're not going to undo it with something else later on, any more than they undo every other comic. But the story's been great. There's just been so many cool moments where I'm reading it, I'm just getting giddy over stuff that's happening. like Vader just being a complete badass. And it's really cool how they play up Vader, because there's no inner monologue like you get with some characters, like in comics, where like they're narrating it to the reader. He doesn't do that, but you get these panels where they just, somebody will say something and there's an obvious reaction from him there in there somewhere, and they just show the like, this blank stare from from the mask. And sometimes they'll give you like panels that are like, flashes or glimpses of like what he's thinking about, what he's seeing, like images from his past and whatnot. And then it just goes back to the mask, and he'll give some dick answer to whoever's saying it, and like, but you can tell like there's a reaction inside somewhere, and it's like, what's he thinking, and it's been really cool. Like there's basically the murder happy version of C3PO and R2D2. There's a couple of droids in the Darth Vader book that are like
they just want to kill things.
Yeah, like 000, the protocol droid. They bring him online, and he's like, "Hello, I am programmed for protocol translation and torture." and then he starts going on, like he looks around, he's like, "Well, it doesn't look like there's anybody here that I'm allowed to kill, so what else can I do for you?" It's been great. Like everything about like the Star Wars and Darth Vader comics have just been like fucking perfect. I can't find a bad word to say about them.
My favorite, to add into what you were saying before about how Vader doesn't have the inner monologue, and how they show his reaction. My favorite one was, "Are you caught up?"
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the last issue.
I actually haven't read the number 6.
Of Vader or Star Wars?
This one. I haven't read Darth Vader 6.
Did you catch up with the Star Wars?
Yes, I've read that one.
All right. The end of that ties in, is the same scene at the end of Star Wars. Boba Fett catches up to him because he had hired Boba Fett, and he tells him something, and Vader's you don't see Vader's reaction. He's just standing there, and all you see is the glass of the ship start to shatter. Because you obviously know, if you know Star Wars, that he's doing it with the Force. That he's so angry, he's shattering the glass of the starship.
What is this Force that you speak of?
It's all around us. It's in the trees, the rocks.
I think that was actually that was in Star Wars, because I did see that scene.
Yeah, well, that scene is the last scene in Vader.
Gotcha.
It'll tie into each other by showing that, but that his reaction is just standing there like nonchalantly, but you see the glass shatter in the foreground, and it's just like it's so cool how the writer and the artist could just show him so menacing without seeing it in a film or something like that.
It's crazy how the art has been really great too, and there are a lot of panels without dialogue, and yet a lot of them convey just as much story or emotion as the dialogue do. Like even the panels that that don't have any dialogue or script, like you can just, it's so illustrative, like of what's going on, and like it's done really well. These are great comics.
So what have you been reading, Brian, other than obviously Star Wars?
Well, obviously I've been reading some newspaper on the toilet, and then some Star Wars, but actually this week I read the issue 41 of Batman, by Scott Snyder and Capullo, and is the first issue of Robot Batman Bunny, and it's actually surprisingly
Robot Batman Bunny.
Yeah, 'cause he has those
That's
long
pretty much
like
what it looks
antenna
like. It's
horn.
fucking, isn't it? It's Jim Gordon, right?
Yeah, it's Jim Gordon, and they show you why he becomes this Batman and stuff like that, and it's actually a really good story. I thought it, by just the sound of it and the look of it, I thought it wasn't going to be that great. I thought it was going to be a good Snyder book, because Snyder's an awesome writer, but actually the story isn't that bad, and I'm going to continue with it. I think it's that good to continue with it. If I read all 8 Convergence titles.
Jim Gordon's not the hero Gotham deserves. He's the hero that Gotham has available.
Basically. But it's
Nothing like a
really,
Z grade superhero.
it's a really fun, it's a really good read, and
Yeah,
I'm
there's
actually
a robot
surprised
bunny.
by it.
Robo
Yeah.
Bunny.
He's got the big ears.
Yeah,
They
it looks
actually,
like somebody pinned on some shitty ears onto RoboCop.
Gordon actually takes a
Don't
shot.
tell
at
that rabbit tricks are for kids.
Gordon actually takes a shot at it in the books, calling it like Bat Bunny, Robo Bat Bunny, and stuff like that. But it's actually good. Surprisingly, it was an actually good story. The only thing that I have a problem with it is I hope it doesn't go that long with no Bruce Wayne, no real Batman stuff. But it's that good. I liked it. It was actually good, worth the $4 it was. It was worth the 15 minutes it took me to read it. I enjoyed it. I hope it stays as good as the first issue and not go downhill.
Yeah, I really hope that that's not something that lasts more than 4 or 5 issues.
Yeah, I'll give it up to a year. But after a year, I want to see a big problem where Bruce Wayne has to come back and
The
come out of the
superior
hiding.
Batman.
Yeah, hopefully he's not in Paris having tea with Catwoman, where Alfred's like,
What?
the end of Batman, right?
End of Batman.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
The movie.
Where he's in
all right,
Paris
I
having tea.
I was thinking comic books references, and I
Oh.
was like, I don't remember.
Fail.
I don't remember this. Yeah, that was a big fail. What about you, Pirate? Did you get a chance to read anything this week?
No, I didn't read anything. I was lazy.
No.
Did you finish your
Not
Schooner
so
book yet?
much.
My Schooner book. Oh, the Don Casey repair book. No, that
Yeah.
thing's it's big. There's lots of words.
There's
It's not
lots-
like comics.
There's lots of words and no pictures. It's pretty awful.
There's a lot of pictures. It's not too far removed from the comic book realm, but there's still a lot more motherfucking words.
Do you put faces on the sailboats like Thomas the Tank Engine?
That's what's taking him so long. He's in there fucking drawing little people and shit and trying to turn it into a comic book.
I
This
keep
is
putting
me.
myself-
I'm captain of my boat.
Yeah, I keep putting myself on
This is my
every boat.
this is
then,
my
like,
wench.
there's different backgrounds that I put in of like me fighting pirates, me banging Polynesian hookers. I don't know, random things.
I'm gonna make this wench walk the plank.
Now I kind of want to read it.
No,
It's chiming out to be quite the epic book.
this
Once
could-
you get
this could be a
done, once you get done
bestseller.
editing it, I kind of want to see that final product.
Well, there's not much editing because I did it all with crayons, and it's hard to edit crayons.
That's good. Oh my
It's
God.
pretty much like a one run print, like right out the gate.
It's
Like
gonna look like one of those fucking coloring books that's sitting at the doctor's office for kids. Like those.
It's the only thing
pediatric
that's gonna
offices.
survive the apocalypse.
I call it parkour comicking. So you kind of just run into it full steam and do whatever you want.
There's not really any story. Each picture has its own story. That's
It's kind of like a first print type thing, like period. Like there's no second.
Free running, it's like free reading.
free reading. It
Free
really has no
drawing.
direction or meaning. Just kind of goes. Oh fuck.
I want to go into a library. Now this gives me an idea. I want to go into a library one day and write random messages in random books.
But then as soon as you do it, you have to slam the book shut real hard and yell parkour.
Oh fuck.
And then run out the library.
Yeah, you gotta run out. You gotta run out the library and like jump off the walls and.
I
shit.
should do that. I
Jump
should
down the steps.
I should get Post-its and write something on the Post-it or draw something and slip it into a comic book at one of my comic book stores and do it to a couple of issues everywhere and see if
Oh,
people
dude.
start bringing them in and giving them to
It
the
could be our new guerrilla
the owner.
marketing campaign, which is start sticking our business cards for the
Hey,
for the
you.
podcast in random comics at the comic book store. So as people buy comics, they get
Hopefully-
a comic.
It's like a real life
Hopefully-
RPG. You gotta collect all the
You've just
notes
leveled
for
up.
achievement.
Like, hopefully it gets big enough where DC and Marvel have to put out a fucking clause saying the Comic Book Nerd Nation is in no way affiliated with any of our books.
That's
In
one thing.
In
Has
fact,
anybody
we hate
re-
those motherfuckers.
has anybody read a DC book in the past couple of weeks, like a new one?
No, I
No.
am not.
They've now got advertisements. All right, it's the same advertisement the past couple of weeks. It's a Twix advertisement. I wish I had one of my. Oh, Chris, open up your Batman, and look for it.
I don't think
Did we lose
I don't
him?
think Topher's actually there.
I think we lost Chris again.
He's there in
All right.
spirit, in the fact that we can see his face, but
He
that's
parkoured
about it.
himself right off this podcast.
Yeah.
How the advertisement's set up, it's like 2 panels and then the advertisement underneath. Then on the next page, it's 2 panels and an advertisement underneath. It's the worst thing ever. It's Twix, and you know how the Twix commercials have like the right Twix and the left Twix?
Yeah.
That's how it is. It's one panel is the right Twix, the next panel is the left Twix.
Now we have
It is
two
the worst
Tophers.
thing.
So
Yeah,
like we
in
have
one
like the
fell.
left Topher and the right Topher.
We did
Yeah.
for a second there.
Oh,
Chris, do you still have your Batman 41 next to you?
Yeah.
Open it up and find the Twix advertisement that's on the bottom that's interrupting panels.
Comic goodness.
It's the most annoying and the worst thing ever. And it's fucking Nick Lachey in the advertisement.
Oh, are these the freaking like partial page ads that DC?
Yeah, it's the
now?
worst thing ever. I don't know why they're doing it, but
That's
it is
terrible.
the worst.
Why wouldn't
It's
they
like
just do a
mid
full
book or
page?
something.
Why wouldn't they just do a full page ad? I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't know if they're losing money and they need to do this
No,
stupid
dude,
shit.
Production costs can't be.
They wanted to like integrate the ad. I don't know. Like
They want to
It's
ensure
like-
that you actually look at the ad because now you have
Pretty
to fucking
much.
read that page.
it's a
It's
2-for-1
garbage.
deal.
It's
It's
bullshit.
a
it's
gimmick.
just-
That's what it is. It's a goddamn
it's-
gimmick.
And it's like some of the books, it's like on a good panel, and it's like panel advertisement.
That's ridiculous. They're trying to make the ads look like panels in themselves just so that
Yeah.
it'll trick you into reading it.
It's the worst idea, DC. If you're watching this, or anybody from DC, or all our fans out there, just complain to DC because it's garbage.
It's pretty
It
atrocious.
ruins the page.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. It takes away from it a lot.
Especially like it was last week when I read Justice League. It was like the panels that were on the page were actually good. That should have had more like to it than fucking little panels and then a fucking advertisement. It's garbage.
Huh. Hopefully that's just like a special marketing campaign that they're doing with Twix that'll only be going on for a few months, but
Stop eating Twix, everybody.
yep.
So they stop the fucking advertising.
Comic Book Nerd Nation calls for a boycott of Twix
Yeah.
because they're dicking up
You know-
our comics.
the funny thing is, like if like in the panels that this is that the Twix ad is on, like they're Jim Gordon's going over the bat suit.
The color
then-
schemes.
Yeah, they're looking at it like on a tablet, and he says, "Oh, well, if you don't like the colors here," and like he starts going through these different colors, and you can see there's like multiple different color schemes, and in the last panel, Jim Gordon's commenting on how he's like, none of this screams Batman, like all these bright colors and shit, and he even has the comment, "Why don't you just slap an ad on it and call it a day?" You know, like as much as to
Damn.
say, like, you know, and then on that page are the frickin' Twix
As
ad.
much to say that the writers probably didn't like the fact that this shit was going on too.
Well, I don't know that they had anything to do with it. I don't know if that was supposed to be a commentary or not, but I do find it kind of ironic that, you know, they're making fun of doing something showy and slapping advertisements on it, and then at the bottom of that page
Shamelessly
is a
doing the exact same
fucking
thing.
advertisement that breaks up the flow of the comic.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. All right, let's move over and talk about a tabletop game of the week. This week,
John.
cue the music. This week, we're gonna take it out of Topher's hands. Actually,
Good.
Brian, you were talking about some DC chess pieces and Marvel chess pieces that you picked up. These things are pretty cool.
Yeah, they're actually DC and Marvel. This company, I think they're called Eagle Moss. They make like hand painted lead or metallic chess pieces that are, I said before, hand painted.
When you bought these, Did you buy them at the same point that you bought that green purse and that big pink pig that's behind you, or?
No,
So
that's my
so
carrying case for them though.
Oh,
so the
okay.
hand painted statues are hand painted.
They are hand painted.
Yes.
Hand painted statues.
They're hand painted
Can you
And do the
believe that?
snozberries taste like snozberries?
They do.
Yes, especially if you eat a bag of mushrooms. But yeah, they're I initially collected them because they're like miniature. They're as good looking as miniature as normal statues, but just like for the palm of your hand. But
Wow.
yeah, I mean, DC's been coming out. This company has been coming out with DC ones for a while, so they have a slew of them. Like,
Yeah, they've had those for a long time.
yeah, and Marvel just started like a few months ago, and they already have a bunch of them, from anything from like Star-Lord and like Thanos to, you know, the big Avengers and X-Men. DC's got everything from the Lanterns to like every Batman character, Superman character. And they come, like, you can purchase boards for them. Like, I know there's a Batman board with a big Batman symbol in it and stuff like that. They're actually really good looking. Like, I know how to play chess,
How
but
much
not
do they
that well.
cost?
They're cheap. They're like $15, $16
For like the whole set,
pop.
or like?
No, per
for,
piece.
for-
You have to
yeah, per piece.
you have to
Okay.
you buy each piece separately. It's like the chess collection. Like it comes in like a bag, like about this big, with like a paper insert, and then the statue is like in the bag.
It
like-
actually comes with a magazine insert, which
Yeah.
gives you like the background of the characters, some really good stories that the characters in, their enemies, like a whole like classified information about it. That's obviously not classified, but a whole
If they're giving
dossier
it away
type
with-
magazine. Yeah, it's actually really cool. I mean, I have next episode we record, I'll make sure I have some on me and I'll show them for you viewers out there, or you can look them up on the internet.
I
you
thought they were in
lazy
your
fucks.
green. I thought they were in your green purse up there.
No, not now.
Yeah, they're starting
I
to
had to
make
use it for the night I'm in town.
I've got my girlfriend's got the Batgirl one from the DC set. I don't have it here though. But yeah, the X-Men ones are coming out, and I might actually have to get some of those.
Yeah, I know they have a Cyclops and a Wolverine. Like, some of them come in like a 2-pack. Like, I know Star-Lord comes with Thanos, and Groot comes with Rocket Raccoon. There's a really cool like Archangel one. They're really good looking. I have a Darkseid one that looks amazing,
And they're hand painted
and they're hand painted by hand.
by hand.
By hand.
Whose hand?
I
Is
don't
he,
know.
like,
I don't know.
Is
I think
it-
it's like,
is he like a certain artist, special artist?
Is it like a right hand or a left hand?
I don't know.
Left only.
They should make an advertisement on 2 separate pages.
Jesus. The only statue
yeah.
that I've been looking into right now, purchase wise, is the how do you say it? Kotobukiya.
Kotobukiya?
It's the Hulk Buster and Hulk like together that have like the linking bases.
The interlocking bases.
Yeah,
That statue's pretty sick.
they
They make some-
dope as fuck.
They make some amazing shit.
They make great stuff, and it's fairly like the Artifacts line, especially, is pretty reasonably priced.
They have a really
Oh.
good looking Groot one too.
The current
With the
Artifacts,
rocket on its head. Yeah.
yeah, the current Artifacts series that they're about to do, they're doing
Classic
a line of
X-Men,
the
right?
Uncanny X. No, not well. It's Uncanny X-Men, like the current, like the newer costumes.
Yeah.
First
I'd buy the
Cyclops is the first.
Wolverine.
Cyclops is the first one that's coming out like this fall, and I'm totally gonna have to buy like every single fucking
They
one
showed they just recently posted on their Facebook the Emma Frost painted.
Oh wait,
So they-
before we get too far away
Yeah.
from tabletop games, we need to close that section out. All right.
But yeah,
Okay.
they also just posted that San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, they made an Alfred.
Oh nice.
Nice.
It's Alfred holding like a serving tray with like tea on it.
Oh god. So the
And
that's a
and
good-
they also announced before we get out of it. They also announced that soon they'll be doing a DC Villains line, which is
Nice.
I spend so much money. I have a bunch of those things.
Yeah, that'll be good. That's a good segue. You're talking about San Diego Comic-Con. That's a good transition over to. Let's start talking about news, which is kind of.
I think we
light
need a
right
news
now.
jingle.
Yeah, let's get a news jingle.
Like a breaking news.
Yeah,
jingle?
breaking
Yeah.
news.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, bum 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 bum.
All right, we'll take that as a really weak start
Uh,
to it, but
It's a rough draft.
yeah,
rough
we'll
draft.
call that a rough draft.
Work on it for next week.
All right, breaking news next week.
Yeah, news stories this week are a little on the light side because San Diego Comic-Con is next month. It's July 9th, I think, is when it starts. 9th or 10th.
So I think it's the first weekend in July, maybe.
Yeah, so we're getting close to that point of all the big reveals that always comes with San Diego. So there's always kind of a dry spell as far as news because everybody kind of wants to save up their announcements and things like that for the big press conferences and things like that at San Diego. So we'll give you what we've got, but it's not a lot this week. Christopher Lee, the actor that played Saruman in the Lord of the Rings
Count Dooku.
trilogies.
Dracula.
Yes,
Yeah,
Dracula and all the
he's
hair.
He has a lot of famous pieces.
He has
I think
played
he
a
was
boatload of
Dr.
stuff.
Frankenstein.
Yeah, starring in 1973 horror film Wicker Man.
Pretty
Not
much
the Nicolas
everything
Cage
Hammer
version.
Films ever
Yeah,
put out.
A
he
boatload
did.
of stuff. Well, unfortunately, he passed away at age 93 just a couple days ago on Sunday, June 7th.
He also did a few heavy metal albums.
He
Yeah.
had a Christmas heavy metal album. Yeah,
Did he really?
They're pretty
actually they're really cool.
I forgot that he was Count Dooku. I really did forget about that.
Well, because
Fail.
in Lord of the Rings they have like a fake nose on him and shit like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he really looks so much. And the article that I'm looking at has a picture of him from Lord of the Rings, and he really does not look like how he looked as Count Dooku.
No,
Not at all.
because they have like shit on him
Mm-hmm.
and the long hair.
September variant covers for DC were recently released. It's Alan Scott's 50th.
It's Green Lantern month, but it's Alan Scott's 75th, I
75th.
think. But most of the covers have Hal Jordan on it because everybody associates Green Lantern's 75th with Hal Jordan.
Mm-hmm. Well, on one of those, Brian brought to our attention that the cover is it's got a picture of the Flash and a picture of Jon Stewart. In the bottom right corner, if you look very closely, there is a very small Galactus and Silver Surfer on the cover. We have no idea if this is something that's actually going to make it to print or if that's going to get pulled, if it was a joke or if it's some kind of reference to Topher. You said that there was a Silver Surfer Green Lantern crossover in the past. Maybe it's a hint towards a potential future crossover. I really don't know, but it's
Can
kinda
they even
fascinating
legally
to see.
do that?
That's
That's my question.
if they have, if they got the right approvals, sure, but the question is whether or not they did that or not. But it's really kind of neat as a comic book fan to see, even a potential cover drawn with the Flash, Green Lantern, and then two huge characters from the Marvel universe, Galactus and Silver Surfer, all that are kind of, well, other than the Flash, in that space realm type stuff. Do you have the picture up, Topher? Yeah, here. So so you can see Flash and Flash here with Jon Stewart just above him, and then if you look down all the way in the bottom right corner in the dark blue section, let's see if we can see it. Yeah, you can kind of see it there.
Oh wow!
Is let's see, puts it back up here. Yeah, Galactus.
Whoop.
Just a little bitty Galactus and a Silver Surfer, and the Silver Surfer is really just kind of an outline. It's super small, so we're really not sure if this was just like a joke that the artist is trying to slide in there, kind of like those Disney people that put the boner on the priest.
I wonder. Yeah.
All that stuff.
I wonder if like you.
No, that's actually scientific fact. All priests have boners constantly. That's
okay.
But that's only
Fact.
for little boys.
I went to Catholic schools, so I know that one.
Yeah.
I saw it firsthand.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh, you know what that means?
Oh, hey.
Was it your first right hand or left hand that you saw it with?
Yeah, since you saw it firsthand, which hand was first?
When you get it in the butt for the first time, do you automatically shit?
Wait, what?
He blew a poo gasket.
Pretty sure you're about to be interrogated. I like how after you said it, it just got awkwardly quiet because everybody was just waiting for somebody else to jump in and make the.
No,
first
didn't we?
joke.
Everybody
get
just made a
quiet?
bunch of random
Yeah.
sound effects.
Oh,
And then nobody actually had anything intelligent to say.
When
Well, we
was the
didn't-
last time anybody had anything intelligent to say on this podcast? Period.
Yeah, I
Uh,
said something intelligent. I asked about poop.
Yeah. Brian wanted to know
Fecal
when you got
matter.
fucked in
That's-
the butt your first time. Did you poop
That's
your
just-
Because
pants?
science.
That's just like Brian's default like defense mechanism when he can't think of anything else to say.
Poop.
He's like, poop.
Yeah. In Cards
It's
Against
like a
Humanity.
fear boner.
Fear
in Cards
boner.
Against Humanity.
Fear boner.
If you play Cards Against Humanity with me and you put down a poop card when I'm the judge, it automatically wins every
I
time.
could see that. I could totally
I
see that.
hate that. Like nothing annoys me more than like people who play Cards Against Humanity with like trump cards, where they have like their favorite card, and it doesn't matter whether it fucking fits the category or not. Like, oh,
Poop
that
always
card
fits
wins.
the
Like,
category.
what?
I know
Drives me
people I
nuts.
play with that like Helen Keller is the automatic win card.
Helen Keller is the automatic win card.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
That's not my. I like the funnier things like poop and Pac-Man
Wow.
uncontrollably guzzling cum.
That one's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to follow that up. All right, bit of news that Pirate's going to be excited about. John Bernthal from Walking Dead is cast as Frank Castle, Punisher, in Daredevil Season 2. We'll go to Pirate first.
John Burns balls.
At first when I seen that, I was actually pretty shocked because I'd never really expected him or looked at him as a Frank Castle type character. But if this was a movie, I would be upset about it. I'd be like, no way. But
Why?
just because the track record that the Punisher movies have had, and
Terrible.
putting somebody
Yeah.
putting somebody that's already been seen in another role is already going to from that I don't know that if they was going to make a movie, they need to use somebody that's never been used in a movie before, in my opinion. But since they're not making a movie, I think it's really good because they can develop. I mean, it depends. They could develop the character, but I don't know how they're going to do it. Like, obviously, they said that he's going to be in Daredevil, not his own show yet. So, is he already going to be the vigilante, and then Matt Murdock, takes a case over for him, or whatever, like they've done in the comics before? He's been his attorney and shit.
You mean you're talking about like, is he gonna be established as a Punisher already, just in the background somewhere, or
Right.
he's never
yeah.
popped up, or is he gonna like become
Or-
the Punisher?
Or has he popped up? I mean, because if he becomes the Punisher, I don't know what kind of sense, Matt Murdock would be in it, unless it's like, the people who guns down his family in a park, like if they go with that origin, the original origin, then they can, maybe the person's on trial and Matt Murdock's defending that one of the people who might be on trial for that, and then the Punisher intervenes or something. I don't know, but I'm excited.
I feel like what they could do, another thing they could do with it is like his family was already gunned down. by the Kingpin's men, so he goes after the Kingpin, and Daredevil, for like a twist in the story, Daredevil doesn't want the Kingpin dead. He wants to take him down legally because he's a lawyer. So he tries to fight the Punisher throughout some episodes, so
Yeah.
Punisher doesn't kill him. I mean, also the Punisher worked well in the comics. He was an NYPD officer.
Mhm.
So like maybe his buddies were crooked. They killed his family, and that's another way he could go after the Kingpin and shit like that. I mean, you already had the mob set up by Kingpin and his men in the first season, so he could. I mean, for him to fit in there, just like maybe they'll team up at the end and fight Elektra, the Hand, or Bullseye.
Much like, I think if you tried, you could probably actually fit that mic in your mouth before you coughed, and you might get it a little louder. Much, there you go. Much like how with like Arrow on the DC side, much like how their a lot of their plots and origin stuff, like it's almost like they're doing the Batman stories that they couldn't do with Batman because they couldn't get Batman. I kind of see Marvel doing some similar things in Daredevil, like as if they couldn't do some Spider-Man stories. Kingpin originally started as a Spider-Man villain, I think, and so Punisher first appeared in Spider-Man, so it wouldn't surprise me at all to see him show up in Daredevil pretty much the same way he showed up in the first issue of Spider-Man that he was in, where he was already
contracted.
He was already a vigilante, and he was going around killing, gangsters and mob people. And then he gets word of, like in the comic, he gets word of Spidey supposedly having killed Norman Osborn, who was presumed dead at the time, and so he actually comes after Spider-Man to deliver justice for killing Norman Osborn.
Justice.
So I can see him being a vigilante that's like referenced as killing certain members of the gangs and stuff, and then possibly Daredevil maybe is thought to have caused the death of somebody, and so Punisher maybe turns and comes after him.
See, but I also was under the impression, which I guess they could still do it, but I was under the impression that what Netflix is going with their Marvel run is semi early character and or / origins with their characters. So my whole thing is, if they don't include, if he's already the Punisher, then that's one thing. But like Brian said too, if he's a cop and he's just a detective or whatever, maybe he's going after, and then he might not even be the Punisher in this whole entire series. It might just be Detective Castle, or it might not be. We might not see the Punisher until they officially do the Punisher show.
Right.
I think it could go either way, just like you said.
I hope we
based
see.
on
I
which
hope we see the
direction they
Shane
take it.
head rubs.
Are they going to have? Is he just going to be in Daredevil, or is there going to be a standalone Punisher?
So far, they're
series?
just saying Daredevil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope it leads into a standalone.
Yeah, they haven't said anything yet about a standalone Punisher.
Because they could being on Netflix, he could be full out Punisher. He could just start mowing
Yeah.
people down. And
Oh
shit.
yeah, it'd be a great place for it, but I mean, it doesn't really fit necessarily in their plans for the the long-term Defenders plan.
Well, they did say that this is phase 2, or start the pre-phase 2, which they haven't even got. Was Daredevil just phase 1, and then the rest of the show?
Well, it was supposed to be.
No.
It was supposed to be Daredevil, then Jessica Jones, then Luke Cage, then Iron Fist, then the Defenders.
Right.
And then season 1 of Daredevil went over so well, they were only going to do like a season of each. It was supposed to be just like, one series of each character and then the Defenders. But Daredevil season 1 went over so well that they were like, let's do a season 2. So
Okay.
I don't know exactly what the plan is there, because it seems like they're already kind of going off book.
changing. Yeah,
I think they knew they were
going
to do a Daredevil season 2. I mean, you can't just, that would be so like weird just to have it run into Defenders and that's it, and if just no more Daredevil or anybody else's stories.
Because see, that's what I was when they started coining out the term phases. I thought the initial shows was phase 1, and then once the Defenders comes out, that's the start of phase 2 or end of phase 1, and then they may incorporate the other characters. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how they plan on doing it, but
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I hope that phase 2 or not phase 2, but season 2, the Daredevil, we see Frank Castle. And you could put Frank Castle in any of the other runs, like any of the other shows they're doing. I mean, he'll fit with any one of them, or at least have like appearances in any of the other shows.
Yeah.
But if he gets his own show, I'm gonna end up having a fear boner. I'm gonna love it.
What? You're a fear boner?
Fear boner.
You're gonna get so scared from
I'm gonna
it.
get
You're
so
gonna...
scared. Well, yeah, because like I mean, you got to think like going into it. Like if it's not good, and all this time I've said you can't do a Punisher movie, you got to do a Punisher show. If it's not good, then Punisher is just undo. If Netflix and Marvel can't do this show right, then Punisher literally is just not.
It's done.
It can't be. Yeah, it can't be done in any other medium other than comic books. So I don't know. I mean, it's kind of uneasy, but I think that as long as they get a good writer, if they do it any justice that they did with Daredevil, it's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be perfect.
Yeah. All right. The last bit of news this week is interesting, I guess. Batman v Superman porno parody. XXX. Batman v Superman XXX. Justice is coming.
How did they spell coming?
With an O.
Okay.
Pirate, you found this.
Yep.
Let's talk about this for a minute. you watched the trailer, which was like a safe for work trailer. You sent it to us, and we watched it. Topher, you watched it also, right?
Yeah, that was the pornography that you were making fun of me for watching at the beginning of the of this podcast.
Yes, I was. So I don't even honestly, I don't even know where to start with this. Like,
we can tell you're like,
well, it's just
there's
so,
a porno.
It's so awkward. Like, I didn't even know that this was a thing. I didn't even realize that they like.
Oh.
I mean, it looks high budget. That's the thing that got me was like. Some of the costumes look more accurate to the comic books than like the shit that's.
The porn industry is like
the porn industry is amazing at doing like. I mean, they do freaking parodies of like popular movies like all the time. Like that's kind of like their.
Didn't
thing.
they do
it's
Avengers?
Like the porn version.
They had Avengers. They've had Justice League already. They've had it.
The Pirates of. They did a Pirates of the Caribbean that was like super high budget,
and they do them so like they'll even do like the pirate one they did. They had a rated R version, and then they had a rated
whoa
version.
Do that again. Rated what?
Rated R version.
Oh come on, man.
Rated R version.
There you go.
And then they did
We're a little slow here, Comic Book Nerd Nation.
But yeah, they had a normal movie type one. And then they just edited out all the pin shots, I guess, and then had the XXX version also. So, and it did really good.
The funniest thing about this whole situation is Brian's first question to Pirate about this was, "Is Batman gonna fuck Superman in the ass at the end?"
Probably.
I don't know.
Because that doesn't that what it makes it seem like?
Batman
a gay porn movie, and they're like instead of fighting, they're like. Going at it. Out. Yeah.
So I watched the
Kryptonite condom.
I
watched the Safe for Work trailer and like the Joker.
The Joker looked good.
The Joker looks better than the Joker in Suicide Squad.
The Jared Leto as Joker.
He
much more convincing.
He doesn't have like the tattoo all over his forehead, so
he's not driving a pink Lamborghini with neon lights under it. Looks like a fucking advertisement for AutoZone.
The Harley Quinn looked really good too.
Yeah, Harley Quinn.
Well,
was good.
And there was a Catwoman.
The Wonder Woman outfit was more
Was
traditional
borderline,
than
better than the.
Wonder Woman was
real one.
stacked too.
Well, comic book females are stacked.
It is a porno. I mean,
Yeah, but Harley Quinn was it Poison Ivy or who was the other one?
Catwoman was
Catwoman
in it.
Was
Was
in
there
it.
a Poison Ivy?
I think there was
Catwoman's
a
outfit.
yeah,
Did you
Poison
see her
Ivy.
helmet? Her like mask was like that old school
Yeah,
one with the goggles on it. It looked good.
yeah.
It looked. I was surprised at how much better a lot of the, not just some of the outfits, but a lot of the costumes looked better than the stuff that I think we're going to see in the actual Batman v Superman movie.
DC just got trumped by porn industry.
It's possible.
They just got fucked.
They just got fucked.
Oh.
All
Oh,
puns intended.
that's right. We are not below taking the cheap road to funny.
Nope.
All right. Well, that's about it for this week. Unless anybody has anything to add. Fair enough.
Was that a burp or was there a demon living inside your head?
What the hell?
And that was season 2 of Constantine. I'm Fox 2.
Oh, no.
Pirate,
Everyone see you.
Topher,
I got nothing.
and the whole effing Brian.
At ease, captains.